teachers from Anglophone South and beyond. My name is Steve. I'm a tech coach, and I'm going to walk you through something that I help teachers out with every semester, especially teachers that have 3 different courses that are the same. So a typical high school teacher or a lot of middle school teachers might teach the same groups, the same course to different groups. And so when they get into that file section of a team, they are having to upload things 3 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times in some middle schools, especially with specialty courses. So I'm going to show you how to take one folder and make that your main place to dump files, and then copy a link to that folder and share it with any team that needs to get the same data and files. So I'm going to go into the class materials, or the French version here of that, and go in there, and then I'm going to open in SharePoint, which is going to leave Teams and open a view of this folder in my internet browser, which for me is on a different screen, so I'll just drag it over. So once I'm in this view in SharePoint, I'm going to click on this gear icon and choose Site Permissions, because I'm going to basically grant the other teams access to this folder first. They need to have permission to view it, so then when I link it in the teams, they will be able to even see the data that's in there. So once I click on Site Permissions, I'm going to go to Advanced Permission Settings, which is behind my little head there. And now I'm in sort of permission view for different parts of this site. And this little warning is where we're going to go next, because it says some content on this site has different permissions from what you see. Basically, the class materials folder has its unique permissions in that a teacher can put things there and edit them, but students only have read access. So that's the folder, and the item I want to alter, I'm going to basically grant permissions to other classes. So I'm going to click Show These Items, and then it's saying Class Materials is the one I want to manage. So I click on Manage Permissions, and now I'm looking at the permissions just for the Class Materials folder. And here's where I need to have not just Period 1, Semester 2 members, but I want to grant permissions to other groups, which would be FILA. And so here is where you need to type exactly the name of your team. So I'm going to type in, and I'll make sure it's all uppercase, like this classes. And so I'm looking for, the other teams I want to have access to. So in this case, it would be Period 2, Semester 2, Period 4, Semester 2. And I have to type this exactly like the name is. So there it is. It will tell me how many people are in that group. I can go ahead and search for the next one, which is FILA 9, Period 4, Semester 2. So this will find other teams that are out there, so you need to make sure you are typing exactly your team. Even have a good idea of how many members are in each team, so you'll make sure you're getting the right thing here. You don't want to send a message, so if you click Show Options, this is good because you can take away the email notification, and you can save yourself a step by only assigning them read only. So let's just review what I'm doing here. I'm saying I'm taking the folder from Period 1, FILA Period 1, and I'm saying I want to share that folder with Period 2 FILA and Period 4 FILA, and I want them to only have a read-only permission on that, and I don't want to send an email. So I'm going to hit Share. So now to double check, I'm just going to refresh this page, and I should have myself as an owner being able full control of that folder, because I'm the owner of this class, but I'm also sharing that with period 2 and period 4. So now they have access to see that site. They don't have the link to it yet, they just can have permission. So I'm going to close this. Here's where I want to, before I leave here, I'm going to copy a link to my SharePoint library. So just basically copy the web address from the top. Now I'll go into Teams and leave this team and go to period 2 and the file section, and this will already have a class materials folder, but I'm going to link my SharePoint folder from my period 1 class. So I'm going to click on Add Cloud Storage, choose SharePoint because that's what I'm going to be linking to. I'm going to use a SharePoint link, which will allow me to paste what I've copied. This should find my period 1 class. Hit next. I want to choose only the class materials folder. That's what I want linked. And I'm going to click Add Folder, and this will put 2 folders in that team. One that is my copy of the period 1 and its own unique one. Now, I'll tell Annie, who I'm helping out here, to delete that folder when she's confident that everything's working and she doesn't need it anymore. She'll just rely on the class materials folder from the period 1 class. I've already added the permissions for this period 4 class, so I can just repeat the same process. Go into Files, Add Cloud Storage, SharePoint, use your SharePoint link, copy that same link I have here, choose that Teams SharePoint link, choose only the class materials folder, add folder, and there you have it. Now if I were to do anything to my period 1 class, if I were to create a new file, add some folders, dump some things in, let me just create a new Word document just for kicks. And close that. Now if I go into period 2, file section, the folder I've copied, there's my test document. And because I set up the permissions in the beginning, my students will be able to look at that read-only, view those files in all of those classes. So, great time saver if you teach even more than one of the same preps, the same courses. I would definitely recommend setting this up now, tomorrow, sometime this week. It will save you tons of time in the end trying to copy folders and files to one team and repeating that process throughout your day. Have a great week.